Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Warriors fans want to see Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant back together on the Warriors. Could this happen? It could, because Kevin Durant is unhappy at the Phoenix Suns and after the season he will ask to be traded. The Warriors have a good package to offer in return and Curry and Durant form a lethal and powerful attack. Rumor: Warriors want to sign Kevin Durant again. The Golden State Warriors wisely acquired Jimmy Butler before the pivotal second-half stretch of the season. However, many had hoped the organization would make an internet-shattering deal involving a ring-chasing future Hall of Fame forward, but it never materialized. Still, in the summer, Stephen Curry and the Dubs could reunite with one of their top targets from the 2024-25 trade season. Kevin Durant vetoed a trade ahead of the deadline to the Golden State Warriors, who then pivoted to Jimmy Butler, Bleacher Report's Dan Favale wrote Wednesday. This may remove them from the summertime running. However, during an appearance on the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis, KD intimated his decision was more about the mid-season timing than the idea of a reunion itself. That opens the door for Golden State to rekindle talks with Phoenix Suns. Reopening that door is complicated. It gets slightly easier if the Suns still want Butler and the Warriors prefer Durant to him. That's not impossible should Golden State believe it can approximate his playmaking, rim pressure, foul drawing and overall scoring through KD and Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors would miss Butler's defense, but fewer redundancies between Durant and Kuminga could elevate the offense. Failing that, Golden State could look to build a package around Draymond Green. Both he and Suns team governor Matt Ishbia are from Michigan. Devin Booker is best served playing beside a decision-making big, and Green remains good enough to anchor a defense. Although Durant ultimately remained with the Suns, it was challenging to ignore the possibility of him returning to the Bay before the February 6 trade deadline. After disappointing Oklahoma City Thunder fans by bolting for the Warriors after a miserable end to the 2015-16 campaign, Durant proved to be the piece Golden State was missing. The 15-time All-Star helped the storied franchise capture 2 NBA titles in 3 seasons before searching for another competitive NBA home. Durant, who failed to win a championship alongside Kyrie Irving and James Harden as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, joined Booker and the Suns in 2022. From a team success standpoint, things have been rocky for the 2-time NBA champion as Phoenix continues to move further from contention despite having plenty of talent on its roster. Durant averages 26.6 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, shooting 52.7% from the field and 43% from three-point land. Unfortunately, the 36-year-old phenom suffered an ankle injury against the Houston Rockets on Sunday, which is likely to force him to miss the rest of the year and cause the Suns to miss the play-in tournament. In the offseason, it would be interesting to see if Durant would be open to changing his stance regarding a return to the Warriors. However, with franchises like the Houston Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder having a more realistic chance of landing the 2014 MVP, it's reasonable to assume a Durant and Golden State reunion will remain a fantasy. Gary Payton 2, Jonathan Kuminga near return to Warriors rotation. Gary Payton 2 has missed time with an injured thumb. Kuminga has been out with a bruised pelvis. The Warriors' best perimeter defender is almost ready to return to the lineup. Gary Payton 2, who has missed the past 3 games with a partial tear in his left thumb, participated in the team's shoot-around at UCLA on Thursday morning. He was ruled out of the team's game against the Lakers, but the team announced he will be listed as day-to-day moving forward. "We're going to get Gary back soon," Warriors coach Steve Kerr said pre-game. Payton, 32, has suited up 58 times this season and has averaged 6.6 points and 3.0 rebounds per game in 14.9 minutes per game. Meanwhile, Jonathan Kuminga warmed up on Thursday night, but remained a game-time decision with a right pelvic contusion he suffered in San Antonio last week. The video player is currently playing an ad. "He's going to warm up and we'll see," Kerr said. Kuminga was listed as available on the official injury report after Kerr's media availability. The 6'9" forward is averaging and even 16 points per game this season. The Warriors, 44-31, are the 5th seed, now a half game in front of 6th-seeded Minnesota, 44-32, and the number 7 seed Los Angeles Clippers, 44-32, in the West standings. The Lakers, 46-29, entered the game as the number 3 seed. Podziemski, Redick, see similarities. The Warriors and Lakers each rebuilt their rosters at mid-season, trades for Jimmy Butler and Luka Doncic respectively rendering their pre-trade results, 3 Lakers victories over Golden State, meaningless. The Warriors are 19-5 since adding Butler, while Los Angeles is 15-10 following its blockbuster trade for Doncic. The Lakers don't play at quite the breakneck pace they did when center Anthony Davis was running to the rim, but Los Angeles is still effective when it hits the open court. They play a little bit different with Luka, Brandon Podziemski said after shoot-around. They play slower, but they're still number 1 in transition PPP, points per possession, and a lot of rim attempts in transition. So we figure if we can keep a man on a man and keep them out of transition, we'll be fine. Lakers coach J.J. Redick also pushed back on the notion that the Warriors have been a completely different team with Jimmy Butler. They're doing a lot of the same stuff, and we've got to be great with our off-ball discipline and Curry awareness, and it's hell to try and guard him, Redick said. Although Butler has given Golden State a second ball handler who can draw fouls, 7.6 free throw attempts per game with the Warriors, and find open shooters, 6.2 assists per game, Redick highlighted his defensive impact as the Lakers are concerned about. Kerr agreed. Draymond and Jimmy are incredibly high IQ players, and the two of them working together, it's beautiful to watch, Kerr said. They read off each other. We might be in a scheme that we don't get to for whatever reason and it doesn't faze them. They just instantly react to what's in front of them. Thursday begins a run of 3 consecutive games against teams seeded higher than Golden State. After ending its 6-game road trip in Los Angeles, the Warriors will take a quick flight back to the Bay Area to play a home game against 3rd-seeded Denver on Friday. After one day off, Golden State will play host to number 2 seed Houston. It does feel like a playoff game, Kerr said. With this play-in situation, there's 8 teams that would have been in the clear under the old format, and it would have just been about seeding. We're all desperate to avoid that play-in, and so it's created a race. Moody and Podziemski pride themselves on not being the Warriors' weak link. Draymond Green is getting shots up on the same hoop. So is Jimmy Butler, with the rest of the team shooting on the opposite end or at a side hoop. Curry, Green and Butler are the center of the Warriors' solar system. They aren't surrounded by fellow stars in the starting lineup, but key components who can keep everything in sync or throw the Warriors out of whack. Since Butler's arrival from the Miami Heat, the former has been the story of a resurgent Golden State squad. Curry has been rejuvenated. Green has stated his Defensive Player of the Year case, with an equally competitive comrade to lean on. The rest of the Warriors' usual starting 5 when at full strength is made up of Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody, 2 22-year-olds shining in their own regard. We make sure when teams look at us, they don't look at us as the weak links out there, Podziemski said. They haven't been. The Warriors are 18-5 since Butler made his team debut on February 8 in Chicago, and one of those losses came in a game he missed as an injury precaution. None of the 5 losses have been with Curry, Podziemski, Butler, Moody and Green all in the starting lineup. After beating the Grizzlies in Memphis on Tuesday night, the Warriors jumped to the number 5 seed in the Western Conference and improved to 12-0 using that starting 5, giving them perhaps the best group in the NBA. Their 12-game win streak together is the longest by any team in the league this season, passing the Oklahoma City Thunder's 5-man unit of Cason Wallace, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein that had an 11-game win streak together from December 3, 2024 through January 5, 2025. It's been pretty simple since Jimmy's gotten here, Podziemski said. We got really high IQ guys in the starting lineup and guys kind of just know how the floor is supposed to look, what shots you're going to get it and it all meshes good. Adding Butler next to Curry has simplified everything for the Warriors, particularly for Moody and Podziemski. It's a good flow out there on the floor, Moody said. Playing through Jimmy, playing through Steph opens a lot of things up. Podziemski has played 19 games in the Butler era, missing 5 to a lower back problem. In that span, Podziemski has averaged 13.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.2 assists per game. Moody hasn't missed any action, averaging 11.9 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game with Butler on the Warriors. Both have seen their defensive responsibilities increase, too. With Andrew Wiggins gone as part of the Butler trade, Moody has individually taken on the challenge of defending the opposition's top scorer. Though he's only shooting 33.9% on three-pointers in the past 8 weeks with Butler in the fold, Moody's defensive intensity has shined, as has Podziemski's on plenty of occasions. Each player has averaged at least a steal per game for the new-look Warriors. "We know Jimmy and Steph do so much for us offensively," Podziemski said. "Me and Moses have taken on the challenge of guarding the best guys every night and making it easier on the other guys." The quintet technically has played 14 games together, producing a 120.3 offensive rating and 102.4 defensive rating in 133 minutes, giving the group a 17.9 net rating. There have been 25-man lineups in the NBA that have played at least 100 minutes together since Butler's first game in a Warriors jersey. The Curry-Podziemski-Butler-Moody-Green lineup has the 6th best defensive rating during that duration, plus the 3rd best defensive rating and 3rd best net rating. "We're just trying to win games," Moody said. "When it comes down to the stretch, whatever it takes. Young guys, old guys, everybody's really just all in, putting everything they got on the floor and trying to come out with wins." Golden State's Big Three, Curry, Green and Butler, combined to score 92 of the Warriors' 134 points against the Grizzlies. Moody, 10 points, and Podziemski, 8 points, accounted for 18 points. Yet they came through in the clutch for the Warriors when it mattered most. Podziemski flew in for a wild tip-in, using his offhand to save a missed three from Curry, putting the Warriors ahead by 5 points with a little over a minute left. Moody sealed the game, hitting a wide-open three of his own from the left corner, increasing the Warriors' lead to 8 points at the 42nd mark of the fourth quarter. "We understood what was at stake going into that game," Podziemski said. "We both didn't play particularly well offensively throughout the course of the game, but when it mattered most, we stepped up and made plays. His corner three, my tip-in at the end. It's a good feeling as a young guy to have Steve trust you out there when it matters most." More weight is placed upon the shoulders of Curry, Green and Butler than anybody else. The play of Podziemski and Moody has provided a sense of relief, as well as added trust for what should be a brawling sprint to the regular season's finish line, before the pressure really turns on.